Today I wanted to talk about holistic healing and the holistic healing and shifting paradigm workshop that I teach every year. And I teach this workshop because I'm interested in empowering people in taking command of their health and not just relying on, going to the doctor and other experts, so to speak, to find out how they are doing. Because dis-ease is always informing us of its presence through symptoms. So whenever we have any symptoms that arise, we really want to nip it in the bud, because if we don't and we simply suppress it, then that can become chronic illness, because symptoms are simply information telling us what's going on in the body and the mind. And when we have the capacity to read those symptoms, to translate those symptoms, and then apply the proper medicines or the proper techniques to resolve those symptoms, but we're doing it holistically through natural medicine as opposed to chemical medicine. Because with conventional medicine, the drugs that are offered have many side effects, which create other problems because you need other drugs to compensate for the new symptoms. And then over time, each time you suppress the symptoms, you're creating more and more chronic disease. So in holistic medicine, the key is to maintain balance. And we maintain balance by applying natural remedies, techniques, a lifestyle that is aligned with nature. Because these bodies are made of the elements. It's made of nature, of earth, air, fire, water, and ether. And so when we understand these elements and we understand how these elements operate in the body and in the mind, then as soon as the elements go out of balance, we know what to do in order to bring it back into balance. And this is why Ayurveda is so important, because Ayurveda teaches us about our own unique individual constitution. And when you know your constitution, you know which elements are high and which elements are weaker in your body and mind, then you know what to do as soon as things go out of balance. So one of the first healing modalities that I'll be teaching in this workshop is Ayurveda, which is an ancient system of healing that's over 5,000 years old from India. And then I will also teach about diet and nutrition, because in this Western culture, there's so much truly misinformation about what is the best diet to eat. And there is no one diet that is the best diet. It's what is the best diet for me to eat, because each person is completely unique and different. And also, what's the best diet for me in the season that I'm in, because each season dictates what is best for the body and the mind. So diet and nutrition is really important, and it really aligns with Ayurveda as well, with your constitution. So this idea of either a paleo diet or a vegan diet or vegetarian diet, these are simply, a one-sided perspective of health. And, there's always a new diet coming along, but it's not necessarily the right diet for each person. Maybe for a period of time it could be useful, but certainly nature is constantly changing and our bodies and minds are constantly shifting. So we need to eat according to the moment in time, not according to a philosophy or an idea. It's all about what nature says within us. So that's diet and nutrition, and also detoxification, knowing when the body is giving us symptoms that it's time to detox. Because if we don't, we accumulate all of these toxins in the body, then they go into our tissues and in our organs and our brain, and it creates a lot of dis-ease. And so again, symptoms inform us of when we are in need of a detox, and knowing what to do as these symptoms arise is very, very important. Another thing I'll be teaching is flower essences. And flower essences were developed by Dr. Edward Bach in England in the 1930s. And these essences are so subtle, yet so profound in balancing out psycho-emotional issues. So when we go out of balance, say, for example, becoming afraid more and more of leaving the house, which some people have, then there's various remedies that can be taken to allay this fear and instill more confidence in the person. Or if there's a lot of impatience and anger, in the mind and in relationships, then there's various remedies that can be taken. And within a few days, the person begins to see that they're more calmer, more balanced, more compassionate, more accepting. So these flower essences are so profound in shifting one state of consciousness because the mind and the body are very intimately connected. So what's happening in the mind happens in the body. What's happening in the body affects the mind. And so we want to keep both of these aspects in balance. And flower essences truly are able to support us in maintaining mental and emotional balance. I'll also talk about homeopathy, which is another form of energy medicine like flower essences. And homeopathic remedies are truly astounding when the correct remedy is taken for both acute and chronic illnesses. So these are some therapies that very few of us know about because we're not taught about this in the educational system. We're just taught, just eat whatever you feel like eating, and then when you get sick, go to the doctor, and the doctor will do something for you. But that's not going to work long term because, if you're not eating properly, first and foremost, food is medicine. So if we're not eating properly, if we're eating overly processed foods or bad oils and fats or lots of sugar, sugar feeds many pathogens in the body. So if we're eating the most inappropriate diet and then we go to the doctor, what is the doctor going to do for us if we don't have the first foundational piece in place? So in this workshop, I will teach and talk about the significance of diet and how to eat properly and what foods to avoid, because there's so much misinformation about what is healthy food out there. And it's time to correct this misinformation. So yes, it's important to learn about these holistic healing modalities which support the vital force in healing the body and the mind. In Western medicine, we are taking drugs and we are imposing that on the vital force, telling the vital force what to do, which actually suppresses the vital force. And when you suppress the vital force, it has to go somewhere else to reflect the symptoms. So it starts to create other diseases which look like different diseases than the original disease, but it's actually connected to the first symptoms and illness that one was experiencing. So each time we suppress a symptom, we're laying the foundation for more and more chronic illness, a ripple effect of chronic disease. And so with Western medicine, they don't understand the connection between the original disease and the new outcroppings of symptoms. But in holistic medicine, everything is interconnected. And oftentimes, I have to go back and start to unravel all of the suppression that has occurred and bring back the original symptoms in order to support the healing process and to cure the person. So healing is very complex. I wish it was as simple as taking a pill and then everything is better. But that's just kicking the can down the road for something to occur later on in life, because we have to take responsibility for our health every single day, with every meal we eat, with every lifestyle experience we have, with the job we're choosing, with the relationships we're having. Everything impacts our health and well-being. And so as soon as we realize I am responsible for my own health, then we can take command of life. We can take command of the ship. and we can nip things in the bud before it becomes serious. So this is my invitation to everyone to come to the Holistic Healing Workshop when I'm teaching it, and to become empowered to really understand how the body and mind works, and how to reconnect to nature as the source of healing. And the vital force inside of us is nature as it expresses itself. So I look forward to seeing you in the next workshop or event that I am hosting.